Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Dynamite. First things first, they broke our heart. While we had Marina and Moxley coming out for the first match, they're going against Swerve Strickland and Willow Nightingale in a tornado tag match. They already done announced on commentary that the Death Riders has taken out Jay White and that he will not be able to compete in the Owen Hart Cup. Do y'all know how I feel right now? That y'all just gonna start off with bad news just right off the bat? Like y'all couldn't wait till the middle of the show or towards the end or something to go on and throw out this news about Jay White. Jay White, if y'all have not gotten a chance to see him in New Japan, just to see how much of a tremendous wrestler he is, since he's been in AEW, I don't want to say I'm disappointed in him. I feel like no one has yet to be able to see what Jay White can do. And I was kind of hoping that this would have been something to really kick off exactly what Jay White needs. But unfortunately, they start to show off with bad news. So there's that. Now, this was a really great match. I was just like, they're probably going to keep the women away from the men. And they actually didn't do that. We got a chance to see some really great stuff in terms of chemistry as both teams, and also being able to see the men and the women go at each other through this match as well, which had us having great spots. However, I say all that to also say, for those of you who watch this, you probably agree, it is so important that the camera people needs to be up and ready to air those big important spots in the matches. And unfortunately, we had an issue when it came to the camera work in this match. That's just the truth. And for me, I felt like they just wasn't on their P's and Q's with this match the way that they should have been. There was a big spot where I'm guessing, and I shouldn't even have to guess, where Willow Nightingale perhaps giving Moxley a pounce onto a table outside of the ring and he crashes through the table. I'm saying I guess because we didn't actually see that. All we saw was Willow kind of walk up. The camera cuts to Marina and Swerve. And then by the time it gets back to Moxley already done crashed through the table. I'm like, well, what happened? We need to be on P's and Q's when it comes to camera work. Now, while this match I thought was really great, fun match, we haven't seen Marina doing a damn thing in a long time other than holding the briefcase and looking pretty with Death Riders. So it was great to see her do something. I think the very first major move on one of the girls was Swerve accidentally giving Marina a house call. But that's because she ends up moving Moxley out the way so she can get the house call. And Swerve kind of laughed it off like, oh well, bitch, you got in the way and you got hit. Now, I'm okay with this. And then we start seeing some spots when it comes to, the guys getting physical with the girls, which I'm 100% okay with women and men wrestling with each other. This is not like boxing or some shit like that. This is wrestling. This is so different from any other type of fighting, so I'm cool with that. Willow took a nasty bump. Marina was, what I remember her trying to get Willow perhaps onto her shoulder to give her a power bomb or whatever it is, to at least give her a power bomb onto a table while they're on the apron. She could not lift Willow. She couldn't do it, and she kept trying, and Willow had to leverage herself to be able to help herself get through to that table. And Willow head and neck ate up that table. The rest of the body then hit the ground, but the rest of her neck and her head just went through the table. It looked bad. It looked really bad. I'm surprised that she was able to continue this match with no problem. Now, obviously, after that table spot with Willow and Mox that we didn't get a chance to see, we have Willow taking the win for her team. Now, Jon Moxley, he gets back into the ring. Swerve is on the turnbuckle. He's celebrating, and everybody's whose house, Swerve house, you know the whole thing. And then here comes Mox, who ends up hitting a paradigm shift onto Willow Nightingale, and the whole crowd just loses their shit. Like, how could you put your hands on a woman, bro? He was literally beating her up in the match. Like, come on, we saw this happen. Because the match is over, everyone seems to be angry about this. Swerve goes to go check up on Willow. Willow could barely move. The doctors and everybody came on in there to check up on Willow. And things are not looking good for our girl. Now, after the match, we come back from commercial break. And we do have The doctors, they're checking up on Willow. It's not looking good for her. She's laid out back there while they're checking up on her. And Swerve said, I'm not going to let this show be over without me getting my hands on you, Jon Moxley. So we got something to look forward to. Now, after this, we do have Renee Paquette in this strange outfit that she was wearing. I don't know what that was. Interviewing FTR. FTR back there with Paul Turner, the referee that Dax Harwood had attacked on Collision this weekend. This dude is giving Paul Turner $10,000 to shut his motherfucking mouth up and not hit him with a lawsuit. And I was like, you know what? Fuck the $10,000. Hit him with a lawsuit. You're going to get more money with that. Obviously, the referee takes the money and he ends up leaving. And he's trying to make amends with Cash Wheeler. Cash Wheeler's just like, hey, we're still on for this weekend against the Death Riders for a trios title. But after that match, we're going to have to talk about what's going on between you and me. Now, after this, we finally get the brackets to be confirmed when it comes to the Owen Hart tournament. So real quick, let's go over the men's. So on the first side, the left side of the bracket, we do have William Ospreay going against Kevin Knight. Also, we have Brody King going against Takeshita. And on the other side, we do have Mark Briscoe going against Kyle Fletcher. And then we have Hangman versus some wild card, whoever the hell that's going to be. There's already been wild guesses in terms of who that's going to be. Darby Allin was one of them. Chris Jericho. For me, immediately I thought of Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett obviously having ties with Owen Hart. And obviously having had a story going on with Hangman. It does make sense, but I don't know if people will actually like for it to be, Jeff Jarrett. Now, with that being said, the finals of the tournament is going to be all the way on Double or Nothing, which is on May 25th. So that's going to be quite some ways before we actually get to see who's going to win the tournament. Now, let's talk about the ladies tournament real quick. Now, over on the ladies' side, we do have on the left side, we have Jamie Hayter going against Billy Starks. Then we have Thunder Rosa going against Chris Statlander. And then on the right side, we do have Julia Hart and Mercedes Moné, which is very interesting. And we have Harley Cameron going against Athena. I don't really like how things are jumbled up in here. I really don't like it. I didn't really want Mercedes and Athena to be on the same side of the bracket, but Tony Khan doesn't watch my reviews, so he isn't listening to me. Billy Starks and Jamie Hayter literally just had a match on Saturday, so now we're just putting that shit right back on for the tournament. Something about this could have been so much different. After this, we had a really great matchup with Penelope Ford versus our champion, Toni Storm. Why did Toni Storm bite her tongue? Why she bit Penelope's tongue when Penelope went to kiss her? Like, what the hell is going on? It was absolutely insane. I am actually really proud of Penelope. Penelope, who was gone for like 2 years, she's back and she's been so consistent in the ring, and I'm enjoying her confidence. I'm enjoying seeing her in the ring. I don't know where things are going for her in the long run, but man, she is just looking absolutely fantastic. Not enough for her to get the win over our girl Toni, but we do get Megan, who comes out after the match. Oh my God, Megan just looks... For all the ladies who's trying, don't even try anymore. Megan has taken the cake. Like, she's like perfection. And she's standing there looking at Toni. Toni's like, come on, bitch. I'm ready for you right now. Fuck Dynasty. And I'm looking at her. I'm just like, holy shit. She is so beautiful. I do enjoy her in the ring. But she's going to have to put everything out there at Dynasty to go against Toni Storm. After this, we do have the Hurt Syndicate, MVP and Bobby in this 1970s suit that is just not giving me anything that I want. And MJF. Let me just say, I feel like I'm with y'all in terms of where y'all going. The journey there is a little rough. This promo, I just didn't really give a fuck about. This is basically about how Bobby didn't want MJF to be part of the group. MJF is saying that, he has something to offer. This is strictly business with him joining the Hurt Syndicate, and has nothing to do with his tan being darker than Bobby's skin tone. And for whatever reason, Bobby's just not with it. Shelton, due to travel issues or whatever, could not make it to the show, so we couldn't hear what he thought about things. MVP is on board, Bobby is not, and MJF said he's going to prove himself. Okay, so then here comes the learning tree to come out, which is just Big Bill and Brian Keith. And when I tell you the baby oil was on point tonight, this is all I ever asked for, is just the right amount of baby oil. They come on out there. They put a chair out there for Bobby so he could sit his black ass down to watch them in the ring with local talent that they ended up finding from the parking lot, and probably just offered them like $20 to get in the ring for a little bit of TV time. And they have a really quick matchup. And for me, I hate when they do this. You pick up people that are barely a third of the size of Big Bill for him to have a match with. And Brian Keith didn't really even get in there, to be honest with you. And you make it seem like it's so easy for them to win, when really what they're doing with these local talent in the ring, they will never be able to do with Hurt Syndicate at all. If you were to find local talent that was somehow built some way near Shelton or Bobby, and then you were able to beat them, that would have been best case scenario for people to even believe that the learning tree had a chance of beating Hurt Syndicate. The squash situation, when y'all picking up puny little people off the street, it doesn't work. We have Big Bill who gets on the mic basically saying, we beat these two guys in the ring, and we've also beat Top Flight. I was like, Top Flight? Now look, Top Flight, they are very talented young men. However, they fucking lose all the time. So like, what are we bragging about? I am kind of... The Hurt Syndicate, I feel like they're in the right place, but something needs to pick up when it comes to this group. Right now, we just hoping and praying it gets better. So now we have Harley Cameron, who has her puppet Monet, and she's back there with Mercedes and everything. Long story short, they're going to be teaming up to go against Athena and Julia Hart at Collision on Saturday. Very interesting. So they're doing tag team action before they actually be able to go against each other, starting at Dynasty for the Owen Hart Cup. After this, we have a really great tag team match with Blake Christian teaming up with Lee Johnson, which I'm so shocked that he's even getting TV time on a fucking Wednesday, to go against Kevin Knight and Will Ospreay. Kevin Knight showed y'all tonight like why he got that contract. And honestly, I'm so happy to see him here. I think he looks absolutely great. Lee Johnson looked great. Blake Christian looked great, and then obviously William was there too. So I'm thinking they made the right choice with him being there. I don't know where he's gonna fall in terms of on this roster, in terms of stories and things like that. I don't know. After the match is over, though, Tony Schiavone, who never really seems to be doing anything anyway, goes on to announce that at Dynasty is going to be Kevin Knight versus William Ospreay for the first match in the men's bracket for the Owen Hart Cup, which honestly I'm okay with, because we already had like 6-5 matches on the damn thing anyway. So okay, that you're adding something, but I'm looking at this and I'm just like, this is Will Ospreay all over again. Like, I'm just tired of it seeming to be the same people on top. I don't necessarily expect that Kevin to just come here to already be at the top or anything. But honestly, am I the only one feeling like Will Ospreay, so many opportunities, meanwhile everyone else is just like plateau in the same place the entire time? Honestly, I'm fucking over it. After this, the Ops were back there, and honestly, I see fucking Hook, and I just tune out. But it was great to see Shibata and Samoa Joe. I don't know what the hell they were talking about. After this, Brody King. Oh my god, Brody King is so my type. Absolutely my type. Going against Lance Archer. I don't know where this match came from, but they gave us some meaty men to enjoy for the night. Brody, I enjoy him doing singles action. My thing is that he's kind of lost in the shuffle. Lance Archer, we're not even going to get into that issue. And it would have been cool to see what would have happened if Buddy didn't get injured. Honestly, I don't even think he injured. I know he at home with Rhea, because if it was me, I would pretend I'm hurt too, to be laid up with Rhea Ripley as well. Now, with Brody being on his own, he does kind of feel like he's lost in the shuffle. We do have Uncle Don who's there. And what was so interesting was, again this week, someone else who's dressed up as Uncle Don. They had the horrible bald cap and everything with the scar. This time they actually had a fake scar on their forehead, which I do appreciate all the little details. And Don Callis whispered something to their face, probably saying, hey, look, my lawyer is going to hit you up if you don't take that little disguise off or whatever the hell. And it was really great to see that someone like Don Callis, who it seems like everybody hate, because obviously as usual, the fuck Don Callis chants are going on throughout the match. But there are some people who actually do appreciate Uncle Don, and that I appreciate. Brody King ends up taking the win. Lance Archer also lost in the shuffle. I don't understand really what they're going to do with either one of these guys, but at least tonight they got some TV time. And Brody King, I would gladly take a cannonball from you. Claudio Castagnoli, Uncle Adam Copeland. I really enjoyed this main event. I don't know how the rest of y'all feel, but I really enjoyed this main event. I don't think that they've ever wrestled each other. I could be wrong, because I feel like by the time that Adam left WWE was when Claudio came in. I could be wrong, not 100%, but I don't think they've ever wrestled with each other. Well, that doesn't even matter at this point. It's where they are right now, and I felt like they had great chemistry with each other, and it was actually nostalgic seeing these two guys that we've seen in the ring for so many years go at it in the main event. I thought Adam looked great with his black and like high yellow green highlighter green color on. Looked absolutely cute. And Claudio always looked good the way he looked. Oh my God, that man, that's a good looking man. Had great chemistry with each other. The whole time I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to wait for the Death Riders to come on in and ruin the whole thing, which actually didn't happen. They let these two guys go out there and have a really great match. And maybe I don't know how y'all feel, but I felt like this is probably one of the best matches I've seen from Adam in a long time. And I guess it's because there was just no shenanigans going on within the match. Yes, Adam had to hit Claudio with a low blow because he was going to get hit with a concerto. The referee saw that Claudio was going for a concerto, ends up grabbing one of the chairs, and out of desperation, what you gotta do? You gotta just hit somebody in the nuts to get a win. He ends up taking the win, and I'm cool with that. Now, this is like literally at the top of the hour. I was like, wait a minute. So we're not going to get anything with what's going on with Swerve and Moxley. But then we get the chance to see Renee Paquette back there trying to have a little interview with Swerve. And Swerve is just like, it's your bitch ass husband that's up in here causing all this ruckus. And I've been saying that for so long, that Renee, she does her interviews and she's always happy-go-lucky back there as if her husband's not tearing up AEW. So now, here comes Hangman. Hangman comes out there and he said, you see, I told you that I'm never going to let you get close to that AEW World Championship. And they're going at it. He's like, oh, you burned my house. Oh, you broke into my house and you was over there standing over my baby while the baby was in the crib. All this shit. And then he's like, yeah, I know that he was wrong. And I'm just like, okay, so you were wrong. Did you have to admit that to Hangman? And Hangman's just like, wait, what did you say? Him admitting, Swerve admitting how he was wrong and how he knew about what he did was fucked up, was all that Hangman needed to hear, and Hangman ends up just leaving. I don't know why we needed that, to be completely honest with you. He ends up leaving, but that's not good enough, because here comes the Death Riders. They end up attacking Swerve, and they put him through some glass thing back there or whatever. And Pac was over there. Pac looked real good. Okay, this another good looking man as well. Marina had her arm in a sling. She had kinesio tape from her ear down to God knows where from that house call. How could a man put his hands on a lady? Swerve, how could you? And then they end up taking his ass through the crowd out to the ring. And Wheeler Yuta had this bucket with glass, and he puts it onto the mat. And they end up powerbombing Swerve onto the mat, onto that pile of glass. And the Death Riders end up going through the crowd, and they seem all happy about what he did. But Swerve kind of just gets up like the Undertaker, like, bitch, so what? You put me through grass, so what? I've been through worse. And that imagery of Swerve and the glass on his back and him just kind of looking like he's not fazed by it, really makes you feel like, hey, whatever the Death Rider is going to throw at him, or just Moxley at the pay-per-view, it's not going to be an easy job if Moxley ends up taking the win, or if he loses. Swerve is definitely going to give his all. Overall, this actually was a good show. For a go-home show, I feel like we lacked a little bit of things. I think it could have been a little bit stronger, because remember, yes, we do have Collision on Saturday, but Dynamite is the show that gets more views, and I felt like it could have been a little strong. Maybe I'm being a little nitpicky, but hey, your second pay-per-view in like 3 weeks. You want people to spend another $50 on this pay-per-views, your go-home shows, especially on Dynamite, really have to knock it out the park so that people can say, you know what, let me get this little pocketbook and order this pay-per-view. So I don't think it was strong enough. It does kind of feel like things were thrown in last second, because like I said, I think we started off the night with like 5 matches, maybe 6 matches. They added another 2 tonight, or maybe 3, and hopefully we're at 8 matches and nothing more, because honestly I don't think we can really take anything else. We got to get ready for gearing towards Double or Nothing, and then also for All In. They did end up putting some additional information out there about All In. I'll talk about that in another video, but overall it was a good show, and I can't wait to see how things go at Dynasty. And honestly, if you did not see that opening match, I really think that this is something that they should do more often, where we get to see these intergendered matches, where we do get a chance to see men and women interact with each other in terms of wrestling in the ring, because this was actually done in a very tasteful way. Other than that, cameraman, let's get it to fucking together, because it could have been shot much better than what it was. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back tomorrow with a review on Ring of Honor. See you guys then. Bye.